The stock market is now down 21%.
Two-year note yields went from 190 to 166 in the...
It was the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
Traders here working the phone say a lot of their customers are freaked out, waiting to see how low the Dow will go.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
The 2008 financial crisis was one of the worst crises in the history of the country. Over 8 million people lost their jobs. Not only did they lose their jobs, but they lost their houses. Overnight, the value of their homes dropped by half. The US economy was on the brink of collapse. The government couldn't just accept that. It had to do something.
The president's plan would allow the Treasury to buy up to $700 billion worth of bad loans.
The CEOs of the largest banks in the country flew to Washington in their private jets and asked the government to print hundreds of billions of dollars and give it to them so that they wouldn't collapse.
The big three CEOs flew to Washington to ask for taxpayer money on costly company jets.
The government gave them trillions of dollars without asking them any question and let them dictate the terms of the bailout.
They dictated the terms of their own bailout. And
what do you think happened to the people who crushed the global economy and left millions of people unemployed? Did they go to prison? Were they punished for their actions?
73 executives from AIG's Financial Services Unit, that's the unit that engineered the company's downfall, all just got bonus checks worth $1 million or more.
The CEO of AIG, the guy who is literally responsible for the 2008 financial crisis, walked away with a $34 million bonus. Or the CEO of Lehman Brothers, the guy who crushed a bank that existed for over 150 years, also walked away with a $34 million bonus.
Records showing that he took home almost $500 million in the past few years while steering Lehman into bankruptcy.
The 2008 financial crisis was just one out of many crises that made the rich richer while the rest of the people poorer. During the pandemic alone, billionaires made more money than you can ever imagine. They made over $1 trillion in less than 2 years.
Well, the world's 10 wealthiest men doubled their fortunes during the first 2 years of the pandemic.
Every couple of years, there is a crisis, and every single time, the top 1% still manages to make billions of dollars. Even in 2022, when everything was crushing, the hedge funds reported dozens of billions of dollars of profit. But you, on the other hand, is getting poorer. If you haven't lost your job, you're already lucky, because in 2023 alone, 170,000 people have already lost their jobs. And if you haven't lost your job, then inflation has squeezed your budget so much that you can barely put food on the table. So what should you do? Is there a way out? Do you even stand a chance? The rules at the top are very different. If you go bankrupt, the government will bail you out. And every crisis is just another opportunity to grow your bank account. However, going to the top is a lot different than being at the top. What I'm about to share with you are the rules that every single rich person has used to get there.
The economic news has not been good recently for most folks. In fact, housing prices continue to tumble, unemployment up to 9%. The CEOs of major companies last year saw their salaries up 11%.
Jeff Bezos has become the first human being on the planet to be worth $200 billion.
Well, Elon Musk is now the richest person on the planet.
Elon Musk has added over $10 billion to his wealth just this week, $63 billion just this year, with
$700 billion to rescue the country's failing banks.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we as a central bank, we have the ability to create money.
Let's start with a simple question. What is the best investment out there? Is it Bitcoin, NFTs, the stock market, or maybe real estate? When you see news such as a president of a country uses his country's money in order to buy Bitcoin, you know that it's real. JP Morgan predicts that Bitcoin is going to cross $150,000 per coin. Cathie Wood expects Bitcoin to cross $1 million per coin. It really doesn't matter whether you pay $50,000 or $60,000 per coin if it's going to cross $1 million anyways. So you spend your entire life savings buying Bitcoin, hoping that this is your opportunity to make it to the top. But then it collapses, the price plummets, and now it's worth a fraction of what it used to be in the past.
Tonight, a massive sell-off of cryptocurrency, erasing more than $200 billion from the entire market in a single day.
Eventually, it was all a scam. The top 1% promoted Bitcoin so that we spend our money buying it, driving the price higher and higher so that they cash out and make massive profits. But then they told us that there is something else, something that is way better than crypto, something that is going to change the world forever. They aren't just random pictures on the internet, they're backed by a revolutionary technology that soon will worth not just millions of dollars, but billions of dollars.
A digital artwork sold for nearly $70 million at Christie's on Thursday.
NFTs were so hyped that it seemed like no matter what NFT you buy, soon it is going to worth a fortune. People randomly began buying NFTs on the internet, hoping to make it to the top. This NFT, for example, CryptoPunk, was sold for over $23 million.
NFTs have been taking over the art world.
Look at OpenSea, that's the biggest NFT trading platform. They saw sales top $1 billion.
But then the expected happened. Everything collapsed. The average price of NFT collapsed by over 92%. The once famous Ape NFT witnessed its prices drop by over 82%. The NFT that Justin Bieber purchased for $1.3 million now worth just $70,000. How about the stock market? Is it also a scam? Aren't there people who made billion-dollar fortunes out of the stock market? Yes, that is true. But here's the thing. You need real money to invest in the stock market. Your $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 means nothing in the stock market. Even if you manage to make a 10% return on your $10,000, that's just an extra $1,000 a year, not even enough to pay for your rent. So, what is the best investment out there?
Bitcoin. Bitcoin hits a new record once again.
Bitcoin just hit an all-time high moments ago.
I own Bitcoin in my hedge fund. I own Bitcoin in my fund.
The problem with all of these investments is that, doesn't matter crypto, the stock market, you are not in control. There is nothing you can do to make your stocks or crypto more valuable. You cannot get to the top by getting 10% or 20%. In order to get to the top, you need an investment that is going to get you 100% or 1,000%. It might sound like a joke to you, but here's the thing. Just go to Forbes.com and take a look at the richest people in the world. Do you think these people got to the top by investing and getting a 10% from the stock market? I don't think either. The only investment that can get you 100% or 1,000% is an investment in what you do. Are you a video editor, designer, engineer, doctor, whatever, an entrepreneur? If you invest that $1,000 or an extra $10,000 in what you do, you can double or triple your income. That is the only way to get 100 or 200 or potentially 1,000% return. Because your success isn't based on outside factors. Your success is a direct result of your actions. Nobody knows your business better than you do. If you improve your designing skills by this much, you can charge your client this much. If you drive to your clients an extra X amount of sales through online marketing, then you can charge your clients an extra X amount of money. No matter where you invest your money, nothing will get you a higher return than an investment in what you do. Every rich person got to where they are by investing in what they did the best. Not into the crypto, not the stock market or anything else, but in what they did the best. Until that thing got so big that it started bringing them so much money that it didn't really make sense to continue investing in that. So they started diversifying their portfolio by investing in stuff like real estate or the stock market. Especially today, when it's so easy to turn anything into a business. Are you a video editor? How do you go from $2,000 to $4,000 per month? How do you go from $5,000 to $10,000 per month? Of course, there is a ceiling, but that ceiling is in tens of thousands of dollars. And even when you reach there, you can hire people and expand your operation. When you invest in what you do, you have full control over it. It's not growing fast enough, you can work harder, you can work longer, or you can be more creative. So the first rule is invest in what you do the best. One of the biggest myths that people have is that one day they will make enough money and retire. Unfortunately, I have to disappoint you because there is no such thing. Even if you make $1 million portfolio, it's not enough because Mr. Market is unpredictable. Today you're up 26%, but then next year you're down by 7%. So you can't expect your investments to pay for your bills. Even if you manage to make a $10 million portfolio, Doesn't matter the stock market or the real estate, you still have to actively manage it. It's a full-time job. What you have to do instead is that turn the concept of making money as part of your lifestyle. We live in the age where capitalism rules the world, especially now in the age of internet when everything can be monetized. Instead of focusing on saving enough money to retire one day, embrace the fact that you have to work your entire life. That is why it's so important to find what you love doing. You can't be doing your entire life what you absolutely hate. Just take a look at the richest people in the world. Most of them are old and are still working. Elon Musk doesn't have to work another day in his life, and yet he's working. Warren Buffett has built a $100 billion empire and he's 92 and he's still working. Trump is like almost 80 years old and he still wants to run for president. So stop viewing work as something bad. Find what you love, set your ambitions, and make your life's purpose to be the best version of yourself. But for those who don't want to spend their entire lives building wealth and want a quick way to the top, there is a way. Everyone who's become rich has followed this rule. You might not become a billionaire, although every billionaire has become one through this way, but making at least a few $1,000,000 is possible for anyone. If you look at people such as Warren Buffett or Bernard Arnault, they became so rich by becoming the best in their industries. There are plenty of people across the globe who made millions of dollars, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, by being really great in that one industry. It's one of the most practical ways to get to the top. You start as a doctor, you work hard to become a really good doctor, and then you open your private clinic. You might not become a billionaire, but you will do really great. But then there is a second way to get to the top. It's much more difficult, but it's much more faster. You catch a trend. Trends are the golden opportunities. Whenever there is a wave and you're quick enough to ride that wave, you get to the top instantly. Say whatever you want about NFTs, but there are plenty of people who made millions of dollars. NFTs became mainstream in 2018, so whoever got into the game early on and created their NFTs, 2-3 years later in 2020 and 2021, they cashed out and made millions of dollars. The internet was another wave.
Tonight, the information superhighway and one of its main thoroughfares, an online network called Internet.
What do you mean, that's big? How does one, what do you write to it like mail?
Can you explain what Internet is?
It spans the globe like a superhighway. It is called Internet.
Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, Peter Thiel, all of these people built a fortune by riding the internet wave. Then there was the social media wave. Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, you name it. But it wasn't just about creating the app. The people who got early on into the social media game built a fortune. Kim Kardashian built a fortune out of Instagram. Ronaldo, who was one of the first athletes to actually be really active on Instagram, and now he's paid like $1 million per post. And now we have the AI trend. The people who got early on are already making a fortune, but we're just starting with AI. The point is that every couple of years there is a wave. There are big waves such as the internet wave that created some of the wealthiest people on the planet, or the discovery of oil that created the Rockefeller, or the smartphone that made Apple the most valuable company on the planet. And then there are like small waves such as the NFTs or crypto. The challenge is to focus on the next trend. Doesn't matter whether it's AI or augmented reality or 3D printing, whatever it is, you spend countless hours mastering it and creating something there, so that when the opportunity strikes, you ride the wave to the top. And that's how most people get rich.